My name is Skye. I am currently a sophomore biotech major at Syracuse University, and I am, I guess, the hostess of the mostest of the Snapchat series Black Politic Talks. It taught me a lot. It taught me to fight, not like physically, but like just general concept of just fight for me, because a lot of people wouldn't fight for what I wanted or either doubted me and my abilities to be successful. So a lot of doubt from like peers. Like people respected me, but there were also people who doubted me.
All right. Thanks for sharing. So tell me about your new endeavor. Did that start in college, this series?
It started between, I guess, actually, yeah. It started my first year of college and a little bit before, so the summer before my freshman year, I kind of just started getting fed up with like news outlets not really like saying it like it is, because I'm a blunt person, that's how I am. And that's like the appeal to a lot of people.
Right.
Black Politic Talks is where I talk about things that affect all of the POC communities, but it originally started with after I hosted a Black Lives Matter rally in Goshen, where I was verbally attacked in front of the crowd, which some people, if you went, you saw. I started getting fed up, and I started, I'm going to be honest, exposing people who are Trump supporters, because they usually ended up either being really mean towards me or just like really mean towards the POC community in Goshen. After that, I started using it to spread awareness for issues that affect Black women and Black men alike. So discrepancies in the medical field, police treatment, and how these things like affected our community, as well as just general satire about former President Donald Trump, and kind of explaining things in a way that made more sense to my generation. Of failing. It's okay. Like, I take that very seriously. I was very much a perfectionist. I had to have everything like all my ducks in a row, all labels facing forward type of personality. I'll say that's a type A, I think people call it. And now I've kind of just gotten to the point where it's like, what I produce is my best, and it's usually always my best.
Right.
But it's okay if someone else does not perceive it as your best. So it's everything, basically perfection is subjective, and it's okay to be like imperfect or mess up or like make mistakes, and like it's all happy accidents, and you end up learning from all of these situations anyway. So might as well live through it.
All right, I'm gonna take that advice. Let's see. So what would you like to see in Orange County moving forward?
Ooh,
that's a tough one.
Politely, more like gonna be biased, more Black people. I would love to see more African American people in Orange County. We do have a very strong Latinx population, which I really love as well. So actually, I would like to see more African Americans and more Asian American families or indigenous families come into Orange County. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I had mostly Caucasian people in my graduating class, and my graduating class was almost 300 kids, which was big for Goshen. That sounds very small for some other districts, but it was big for Goshen. And I knew approximately 7 other African American students. Some of us were friends, some of us were not, but I would like to see more cultures come into the like area of Orange County. I think that would really help, I guess, the area, or just like help when kids grow up, because it's just they grow up understanding other people if the culture is present. As I got older, I learned in certain cases that the school administrations would work for me, or they would work against me, or they would just appease me, which is a completely other option that most people don't think about. But being that I guess even then I became like a driving force in the community. And whether it was just the school community or the community as a whole, it started off as me becoming a known name in the school community.
Right.
There wasn't a teacher, professor, like sanitation worker who did not know me or did not know my name or did not know who I was as a person and like how I carried myself. Some people thought I was snooty. I didn't think I was snooty. I started to morph my style a lot, so it kind of came with it. It's either I was really snooty or I was like just really relaxed. It depends on the person you asked. I wasn't going to say anything. But coming from there, it's just like I was that type of person who I was like, if you know me, you know me, but it's not like you don't know of me.
Right.
At that point.
Right.
I had been like treasurer of LGBTQ and allies. I'd been the co-president. I had head of prom committee, just musicals, choir, was anywhere and everywhere, and I probably had my foot in everything. I was comfortable with administration because that's how I held myself. You know, unfortunately, this thing that I had to deal with a lot was code switching. And if you don't know what that is, it's usually like you switch the dialect of how you speak. And I use that in my favor, unfortunately. And that's how I got places, was because I would code switch when talking to admin, and then I would code switch back when I was with my friends or like my parents or my cousins. That's how you get places, unfortunately, is like a African American person. It's you code switch to make people comfortable with the fact that you're Black and in their space. So that's kind of how I got my foot in like administration and like starting to get a few things my way. Like played their game, but I had my own rules they had no idea about. Please be nice to people. You don't know what people are going through, period. Like, that's just the point blank. No one knows anybody else's story unless you're related. Then you kind of might share a similar story. However, the chapters might end up being very different once written. You have to just respect the fact that people are different, whether it's physically, whether it's mentally. You have to accept that. Like, you can't pretend that differences don't exist anymore. You can't, I guess, basically like put life into grayscale where all the colors are monotone and look the same. Like, you have to see color. Like, that's a conversation no one wants to have, is when someone says, oh, I don't see color. You have to see color. You have to. You have to educate yourself and understand like the perspectives of other communities. There can't just be one simple idea. There's multiple interpretations of the same idea. And they all could lead to the same answer, or they could lead to different answers. And that's completely okay. I think that was my biggest thing, was people weren't seeing other sides of like the same coin.
Right.
It's just, there's one side that's like all like hunky-dory and all dandy and sunshine, candy, and rainbows, but no one wants to talk about the fact that sometimes it has to rain. Like, and rain is good. It is a period of change and like time. It shows that you're growing as a community and like as people. Once you adjust to the rain, you can get through snow, you can get through sleet, you can get through hail, and it'll always be sunny at some point. But you just have to get through rain.
Right.
That's it. It's just respect people, and it's okay for the weather to not be sunny. It's okay. I'm going to like circle back to something I brought up earlier. Try to get more POC in the area. Please try to get more POC in the area. I'm going to be honest. I was so excited when I heard that Goshen was looking for a new high school principal. I was so excited because I was like, that's the chance to get a POC in a position in admin. And congrats to whoever's the principal now. I don't know. But I just know it wasn't an African American person. I know that. I wish just like we just have more POC in the area, POC businesses, like just teachers, principals, like anybody, because that would just be so much better than what it's at now. Because I know there's ignorant people in Orange County. I know that. I've seen it. Like, and unfortunately, that's a part of the conversation that a lot of, like, in the worst way, my peers don't want to have. Is that I've been told that there's no racism in Goshen. I've been told that. Like, I'm sorry. What level of audacity must you have to tell a Black person there is no racism in Goshen? It may not be blatant direct racism, but it's microaggressions. It's micro invalidations. I was told to aim lower for college, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The one place where I'm expecting you to get a master's, like I'm expected to aim low. I've been told, like, oh yeah, no, don't expect this to happen. Like, why? I think I'm equally as capable, sometimes if not even more capable than you. Not to sound like preppy or entitled, but it's just, that's true. It's true. Just, like, I don't want something to be created, like, invisible. Like, take the filter out of your eyes. Mm-hmm. It's ignorant to believe something does not exist because it does not happen to you. That's ignorance. It's even more ignorant when you know it happens, deny it, and still don't want to educate yourself.